What's up with it? It's your boy, man. Back at it again on the Hustlers Handbook, man. BSH Free World, man. Free us. I want to shout that out in the beginning of the podcast. Always free us. Hashtag free us, man. And when I say free us, that's free us locked up. That's free us locked up in our minds mentally. And that's free us as a unified people to stop trying to be so divisive, man. We can do this together as a unit, man. So let's free our minds and do this with an open mind. And let's get it as hustlers, man. It's the Hustlers Handbook podcast. It's your boy. I got a special guest right now. I don't really like to tell. I don't like I say. You don't need no introduction about me, man. I like to give the introductions to who I got coming on here, man. Because it's not about me. It's about my viewers, and it's about the people that I get on here that I think y'all gonna get a lot of jewels and gems from. And I wouldn't lie like I don't lie. I don't believe in lies and truth, whatever. It's whatever you make it. But I'm gonna say this man right here in front of me, right here that y'all looking at right here, is his whole drip. Like, some of the stuff that y'all be seeing me rocking around, like some of these color schemes that you be seeing came from this man's mind of just like, yo, these are some ideas da 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 da. Yo, like this, I think you da 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 da. Yo, boom, like, yo. So I'll be like, yo, Fletch, like this, like, what do you think about that? And he'd be like, yo, this is da da da. And and like I'm telling you, iron sharpens iron. When I keep telling you the tea up, that man, like we forged in the fire, man. That's how you get a crazy sword, man. Look into samurais and shit like that. Like, and I got into him. He was sharpening my iron. Cause I was going through the fire just trying to learn this shit, man. And my mans came through all the way. We was in we right now we in Ohio. This podcast is for my people that don't listen. I'm gonna say this again. We gonna get this party started, man. But I put us on, man. We in Ohio, man. We in Akron, Ohio, Cleveland, Canton, Columbus, anywhere around the area, like, man, come through, man. If you solid, you official, you got some gems to spit, come through, man. This is paying homage to us that's around here, man. We ain't no J. Cole's, we ain't out there at E40, we ain't no Nicki Minaj and others. This is people that I believe that can influence the culture, that influence me, and they doing big things, man. I don't care what nobody say. We ain't got to be in no 400 or 500 books just yet. But stay tuned, because you just may see this man in the future in the Fortune 500, in a lot of multiple places, man. Listen, that's just me. That's the energy I get when I'm around this man.
I'm on it.
Because it's no further ado, introduce yourself. What's your name? Where you from? Fletch, man. Let's go.
Yo, my name's Fletch, man. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I've been living in Medina, Ohio for the last 17 years. Name of my brand is FGB, the brand. What I do is I'm a professional photographer, and I also own a custom apparel shop where I have my own clothing line, and I help others create their line as well.
Straight up.
I'm a go-getter. You know, I got a vision, I got a dream, and I go out here and I handle business. First off, I want to give a huge shout out to you for having me on.
Appreciate it.
Help share my story.
Appreciate
to enlighten somebody else who are either walking the same path I'm on or just lost out here and don't know what path they want to take. Maybe something I can say today that's going to spark them to go into the direction they need to go in.
Absolutely.
I like when you said it's not about you, but it's about the viewers. So today it's all about the viewers.
Straight
so
up.
Let's go.
Listen, man, I appreciate it. Myself, I just gotta say that one more time. I appreciate you coming. Me myself, I'm an entrepreneur, man. I'm a hustler, whatever you want to call it. I say a hustler is anybody, man, that turn nothing into something, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a dollar in a dream, whatever you want to call it, man. You figure it out, man. You figure it out, and during my journey of trying to figure it out, my girl introduced me to you. Shout out to my baby Jen, who turned me on to you, and she was like, yo, I swear, once you meet this man, like, I know you, Kev. Y'all gonna vibe, man. So I'm gonna just let y'all chop it. And I met you. You was in the lab cooking up.
Women that work, they work.
I'm like, yo, man, this is what I'm trying to do. Like, yo, man, hold on, man. Like, hold on, how do I get to the big leagues? He got the screen press going and had everything. Like, he the one that's teaching. Like, this is outside of YouTube. Like, even though y'all may be watching this on YouTube or whatever podcast platform you watch this on, my man Fletcher, he was the one who was telling me, like, yo, you don't get rid of nothing.
Nothing.
Nah. Like, so for you cats out here making t-shirts, you out here graphic designing, you out here printing, all that stuff like that, man, listen, make sure you go to his social media. Shout out to social media. What's your social media?
You can hit me on Instagram at FGB The Brand, or on Facebook, FGB Custom Apparel, or FGB Photography Studios.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. And y'all located...
I'm out of Medina, Ohio.
Medina,
Ohio. Yeah.
There we go. To let y'all know where we at again, just in case y'all in the area and you might be watching this and you ain't even know he right in your neighborhood. And y'all could just, like I say, tap in, man. Hit that social media links up, man. Listen, we about to get into the interview. Where you from? Cleveland,
Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio.
East side, Cleveland, Ohio.
East of Cleveland. It's a Medina. You know, there's a lot of people go to Medina from Cleveland. I hear that.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
It's a better opportunity, sometimes you get to a point where you gotta leave. You gotta leave to get better.
Right.
Some people leave for the wrong reasons, and some people leave for the best reasons. The reason I left is, me and my wife were starting our family, and I didn't want to raise my kids in the same environment that I grew up in.
Right.
That environment still haunts me to the day, and I didn't want that for my children. So. And I wanted a better school system.
Absolutely.
So that's why I left.
Question about that. I want to touch on that part, on the growing up part, right? In Cleveland, because I'm from Cleveland myself, East Cleveland, up and down Euclid, all up and down that whole street from down there to Euclid Creek and all that stuff. All
that ain't Cleveland, bro.
No, I'm saying no. All that's
Euclid
Street, Euclid Street.
Ain't none of that Cleveland, bro. That's hell.
What?
That's hell, bro.
Listen. Euclid all the way down to EC, all the way down to downtown. I was up and down
in
all
the
the
trenches.
All the way up in there where you couldn't, when you was in East Cleveland, over there by my grandmother and them, they around the Terrace area.
I lived there for a minute, over on Alder off of Hayden.
Yeah, absolutely. My people, he was all around Hayden, so I know that it definitely is a lot of red over there, a lot of areas, growing up. If y'all was growing up in the 80s, 90s, y'all know what it is.
Yeah.
Being in Cleveland's a little bit different. But like I said, we're in Akron now, Medina areas and stuff. But if y'all don't know, I was saying that to my dude the other day, man, Rail on that podcast. It's like Jay Prince said, it's ghetto boys everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's in every neighborhood. It's ghetto boys everywhere. When he created that, man, that makes sense. That's true. No matter where you go, you Chicago, you Cleveland, or Medina. And people would be surprised. You go to Medina, you would be surprised who you will find. Somebody from East, some part of Cleveland, or whatever. Well, I don't care what hood you from. You will find someone everywhere. So where you from is where you at. Excuse me. But growing up in Cleveland, saying some kids out there, and you said you want them to raise your kids in a different environment, which I ain't gonna lie to you, I definitely respect that, because I mean, it wasn't pretty growing up for me up there in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But don't keep make you stronger, because we still here today having this interview. So what I would say is this: for a kid right now who may be living Cleveland, any big city, LA, whatever, and we know what it's like being up in the inner cities. Growing up, you 15, 16, 12, 8, 9, 10, whatever. Well, you may be a boy or a girl, right?
Right.
What advice would you give them that you would have gave yourself now to maneuver a little bit differently to get you in a position to make it out of there, to where you say, man, I made it out. I've been doing my thing for years, but did you see that happening then? Because you say, like, when you was in Cleveland 10, 12, 13, 14, like, how did you make it here from there?
For me, it's cloudy.
Okay.
Coming up, all I knew was the streets.
Okay.
I didn't know nothing but the streets. And I was taught that, if you want to eat, you gotta get in the streets.
Right.
If you want, nice things, you got to get it from those streets.
Right.
I grew up in the crack era where crack was destroying the black home, and being the oldest of 7, I had to get it how I got it. So once I got it how I wanted it, it got comfortable for me to the point where, my dad died in '96, my senior year, and I think that is the defining moment of my life, because I had a I don't give a care attitude. Right. So that, when I say the defining moment, that was like the best thing that could have happened to me, because it put me in a dark place to the point where I had no choice but to do something called self-evaluation. Okay. I tell this to everybody. I don't care where you at in life. Everybody needs to sit back and do a quarterly self-evaluation. Straight up. What that means is you need to sit down. You need to think, whether if you in your bed alone or you're on the toilet taking a dump, you need to think. Think about the past, think about the present, and think about tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised to you. Absolutely. But you can still do something about tomorrow by what you're doing today. Absolutely. If you're sitting on your butt doing nothing all day long, then you can guarantee that tomorrow is going to be full of nothing. We're black men. Nothing in life will ever be given to us. So we unfortunately, we have to hustle. Absolutely. That's just the way it is. To the young men and young women out here, I would say the best advice for me to give any one of them right now is to latch on to somebody who's doing better than them. Okay. Because to me, like, I wish that I had a mentor coming up. I wish that I had somebody who could have stopped me, before things got bad. Right. How did things get bad? Well, death was stalking me. Right. Had I stayed in Cleveland, I would have been dead. Right. My wife would have been a single mother raising my child. Right. So that's what made the decision really to get the hell up out of there. It was time to vacate the premises. Right. And then that's when this self-evaluation comes in play. You have to be the type of individual that can know your flaws. Okay. You don't want nobody else to point your flaws out. Right. Because you won't do nothing about it. Because you won't. Right. But if you point your own flaws out, you're gonna go out there and fix it.
So with that self-evaluation process, because I'm gonna keep it real with you, I learned self-evaluation the hard way, like kind of you did. I learned it in prison when I was 16 years old. I might have gotten in trouble. You're doing 7 years. What did you do wrong? Right. Time to self-evaluate. And then I came home, did a year. I was home a year. Then I ended up doing another 4 years, and that's when I did a super self-evaluation about past, present, and future. And when that happened, that's when I lost my grandfather from lung cancer. It was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? All right, you gotta get your shit together. You know what I'm saying? You can cuss on this podcast. I was saying, well, we keeping it 100. All right. Yeah, I got to agree with what you said 120,000%. I wouldn't be doing this podcast right now if I think I would have stayed in Cleveland, if we didn't move in '96. My homie got killed on Hayden in '96. He was 16. My family saved my life moving to Akron. Tell you the truth, no disrespect. Akron go down, and we talk about Akron. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta, it's something, like I said, man. There's the Hustlers Handbook. It's something in you that's told you that you wanted more for your life at some point in time, and you have to make some adjustments to make it happen, right? When you say, I wish I had a mentor or attached to a mentor, I look back at myself, I probably had some mentors around me. I just was too knuckleheaded to listen to them.
Nah, I didn't.
I know I was. As soon as you said it, I was like, let me think about myself. And I dug back and man, I was so hard. I thought I knew it all. I was trying to have my own club at 16 because I was watching Belly. Didn't know it was a movie. And I had to self-evaluate in prison. So for you to self-evaluate out here is a different adjustment because it's so fast out here. Yeah. In prison, the time is slow. You make fast cash out here, but you're doing that slow time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Most of that money go to the judicial system.
Right.
But that's another story. You know what I'm saying? For you to make that adjustment to move, and then you say, I'm about to start doing shirts. Was that what the move was?
No, the move actually was to put my family in a better position. I didn't know what my true calling was until I got into my 30s, believe it or not.
Oh.
I didn't become an evolving man until after I hit 30. I would never forget it. Like, April 19th, I woke up and my food tasted different. My wife sounded different. Everything was a process. I had to go through so much to get to where I am today. It's like one of my favorite, characters in the Bible is Jeremiah, and they talk about in the book of Jeremiah how Jeremiah had to go to the potter's house.
Okay.
Because there was a blessing for him at the potter's house.
Okay.
But before you can get to the potter's house, if you study, you realize that the man had to go through hell.
Right.
Before he can get to his blessing.
Right.
So that's what I had to go through. I had to go through hell.
Right.
My wife, she changed me. She's a huge praying woman. She prayed day in, day out. It's nice where I can remember faking sleep and couldn't wait for her to go to sleep so I could get up out the bed and go into the living room and do what I do or whatever, and just to hear her praying and the things that she was praying for, it was just something that just captivated me. Like, I gotta change. If not for myself, I gotta change for her.
Sacrifice.
And becoming a dynamic duo with her is what made life so much better for my kids. Life became so much easier when me and her we got on the same accord, man. And our hustle, man, our the things that we are doing is just so great for our children because we know that as long as God has given us breath, our children will never have to go through the things that we went through.
Ain't that what it's about?
That's what it's all about. And I think I can't stress that enough. If you got children,
yes,
and you're not moved to be better for the sake of them,
yes,
why are you breathing?
Yes.
Why are you breathing? You talked about you did 7 one time, you did 4 another time. That's a total of 11. There's people out here that's locked up here.
Yes, sir.
Doing longer than that because they just want to keep on doing what they want to do and they don't understand that it's not working. It's not working.
You gotta make that self-evaluation.
Right. That's why I say you gotta do it 4 times a year. And sometimes you gotta be honest with yourself. We lie so much to ourselves that we don't know how to be honest to ourselves. No, you gotta call yourself out. Like, what, Flex, last quarter you was on some trash, bro. You was only marketing for 60% of the time. That's not getting no money. Man. You got to really get back to it. So the next quarter, I'm expecting for you, since you can only do it 60%, I'm expecting for you the next time to do it 120%, double your workload.
Come on, man.
I'm expecting for you to, you want 8 hours of sleep, but you got to earn your 8 hours of sleep. So you got to learn how to adjust to living off of 4 hours of sleep because you got to put in some more time. Because you slacked off. So
it's okay to have those. So let me, they say, oh, you crazy because you talk to yourself. So can you talk to yourself like that?
Man, I talk to myself all the time.
Right.
Who gonna listen to you better than you?
Come on, man.
Who gonna listen to you better than you? Who know you better than you?
Who know?
When y'all ran past and y'all see me in my car and I'm talking to myself, you need to pull over and talk to yourself.
You hear me?
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna listen to me better than me because at the end of the day, if I'm gonna let any man piss me off, it's gonna be myself. Because I can't fight myself. Come on, man. But if a cat on the street piss me off on the wrong day, we might have to fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. Right. So I'd rather have that smoke with myself. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And you work on me.
Yeah. Let me do me. But my dad dead. Right. I am my grandfather dead. It's just me. Yeah. I ain't got no uncles who I can go to and and get some advice from and do this. Right. No, they all talked about me. Right. I had an uncle once tell me when I was dealing with my dad, I was 15, I never forget it. He come home, stayed across the street from us. He say, check this out. His car always rolled down the street the same time every day. So we knew that we was out doing something we had no business doing. We had to be done by this time because that car was coming down the street. Right. So I'm back visiting with my moms and stuff. And I see him, I go out there, we cut the football game. I go out there, hey, Uncle Jesse, how you doing? He looked at me, he said, I thought you'd be dead by now. And I was only gone for a week.
Dang.
That's something right there that it just do something to me. It motivates me now. Like back then I was...
How old was you? Not to cut you off.
I was 15.
Dang.
I was 15. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have... That's why I tell young people, get you a mentor. Yeah, my mother had 7 brothers. My dad had a brother, so that gives me 8 uncles. I ain't had none.
Okay.
I had a lot of cousins that,
right.
You know, they try to talk to you, but the thing about talking to somebody is you gotta you gotta practice what you preach.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me not to, you know, do such and such
Right.
when you doing it and I see you eating. You know what I mean? I want to eat
Right.
too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's inspire each other.
Right.
So
ain't that what we just said before we even started? What you say? What the parents would say? Do as I say.
Do as I say,
not as I do.
Yeah. That's the black anthem.
Yeah, you know, ain't that the truth?
That's the black anthem.
Ain't that the truth? Man, you know, especially growing up there, as I say, as a hustler, you get caught up in thinking that you only can hustle one thing, right?
Right.
Like you say, you'll see someone hustling the whatever. This is a pretty crazy thing, man. I don't know if you ought to watch. It's this thing on Netflix, man, about with the crack laws.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people watched it. But how they do with the crack laws and with the cocaine laws, how they're so different. I didn't know about it because I really didn't mess around with it. I was doing different stuff. I was, you know, I was into different moves. Mm-hmm. You feel me? But once you watch this documentary on how they make the laws so against the black man,
yeah,
in the inner cities, and how the cocaine is so acceptable in these Beverly Hills areas and stuff like that, but it's the same thing. Right.
Yeah.
But you got us locked up, and we acting like we making a lot of money in these neighborhoods, right?
Right.
Our uncles, our cousins, our friends. That's what they give us to make money and stuff like that's really making money, right?
Please them today.
You right. So when you say a mentor, what kind of mentor would you suggest somebody get?
Somebody positive,
right?
Somebody that's in a direction that's different than what you are seeing on every day. We're conditioned to do what we see.
Right.
You know, in the black community.
Right.
Let's just go back to 1988 when crack just ripped through and destroyed the black community. Mm-hmm. You know, I remember 1988 the most because it was the hottest summer I've ever experienced in my life. It was hot as hell. Mm-hmm. You know, and guess what? Normally when it's a hot summer, that means you had a mild winter. Well, not 88 because we had a hard winter in 88 and we had a hard summer in 88. So you know, why did the black community get affected by the crack pandemic as much? Because that's all they knew.
Right.
Can you imagine if we